Welcome to the HFY Tales channel. Remember to like and subscribe if you like the story. Enjoy and take care.
Darien adjusted his collar as he navigated through the chaos of the spaceport. The air was charged with excitement and anticipation, a cacophony of alien languages merging into an unrecognizable melody that echoed the vibrant energy around him. He was a human among many, standing at the crossroads of cultures, each vibrant being a testament to the wonders of the universe. Earth, once a solitary planet, now seamlessly merged into the vast intergalactic tapestry. His mission today was simple, yet it felt monumental, meeting his friend Lorith, an alien trader from a planet called Zinther. They had formed a bond over their mutual interests in galactic cultures and technology during Darien's tenure at the Space Federation. Lorith's keen intelligence and humor had made their friendship unexpected and profound, crossing the bounds of species. But today was different. Lorith had promised a gift, and as Darien approached Lorith's designated docking bay, he found himself filled with both excitement and apprehension. What could it be? A piece of alien technology, perhaps? Darien stepped into the docking bay, his eyes adjusting to the dim light. There, amidst the crates and cargo, stood Lorith, a tall figure with luminescent skin shimmering with hues colors, his large, expressive eyes sparkling with mischief. "Darien, you made it!" Lorith exclaimed in his thick, melodic accent. He raised his arm in greeting, revealing intricate markings that danced along his forearms like living art. "I wouldn't miss it," Darien replied, his gaze drifting past Lorith to something or someone else. At the foot of Lorith's side stood Tala, a striking alien female with delicate features and a cascade of iridescent hair that glimmered like stardust. She wore minimal clothing that barely concealed her form, emphasizing her ethereal beauty. A wave of uncertainty washed over Darien as he realized who she was. Lorith's gift had a face now, a human-like face that bore hints of sadness and untold stories. "She is Tala," Lorith announced, an edge of pride in his tone. "A gift of my friendship to you." Darien's stomach twisted at the revelation. A slave girl. The concept hit hard. He had read about such practices in history books, but had never envisioned encountering one in a living, breathing form. Tala's gaze met his, her eyes a blend of deep sapphire and gold, revealing a mixture of apprehension and hope. Thank you," Darien stuttered, his conscience flickering with the weight of this unexpected gift. He felt like he was standing on a precipice, the ground crumbling beneath his feet. "But Tala is special," Lorith interjected, misreading Darien's hesitation as a sign of remorse. "In our culture, gifting a partner is a sign of deep trust and bond. You, my friend, have earned it." Darien took a moment, absorbing Lorith's words. The air thrummed with the intensity of the situation. Tala's expression shifted from uncertainty to a flicker of longing when Darien's gaze landed on her once more. Despite her predicament, there was an undeniable spark in her eyes that resonated with something deep-seated within him, stirring a mix of empathy and curiosity. Darien hesitated, glancing back at Lorith. "I'll need some time to think this through." Lorith's smile faltered but remained supportive. "Of course. Take your time, Darien. You were chosen for a reason." As Lorith gathered his belongings, Darien felt Tala's gaze lingering on him, the world around them fading as the weight of the moment pressed down. This was only the beginning of an unusual journey, one that would challenge not just his beliefs, but the very fabric of who he thought he was. As the noise of the bustling spaceport faded behind him, Darien found himself standing face-to-face with Tala. He felt a knot form in his stomach as he processed the reality of the situation. Lorith's words echoed in his mind. "A gift of my friendship to you." The implications weighed heavy on his conscience. Tala stood silently, her posture rigid but her gaze steady. There was a quiet strength about her, an untold story that radiated from her very being. A life full of experiences, dreams, and fears contained within the confines of her expressive eyes. Darien swallowed hard. "Tala," he started, hesitantly picking his words. "What do you want?" Her gaze softened, and Darien detected the flurry of emotions behind her serene exterior. "What do I want?" Tala repeated slowly, her accent thick but melodic. "I want understanding. to be seen. Darien felt his heart tug at the sincerity in her voice. He stepped closer, the space between them charged with palpable tension. I can't. I don't want to be a burden, she interjected, a hint of desperation creeping into her tone. But I have been given to you. What did you expect? He ran a hand through his hair, frustration bubbling beneath the surface. This isn't what I expected, Tala. You're a person, not an object or a simple gift. I didn't ask for this. Lorith, who had remained silent during their exchange, stepped forward. You must understand, Darien. In Saurian culture, it is an honor to offer someone valuable as a token of trust. We believe in bonds that transcend understanding. Trust, Darien echoed, disbelief coloring his voice. How can I trust that this is right? This isn't who you are. It doesn't define you. Tala's eyes sparkled with tears as she looked away, absorbing Darien's words. I wanted to be free once, she murmured, her voice breaking. But then things changed. Can't you see? I have been. She paused, a shudder passing through her. Chosen. The weight of her statement hit Darien like a freight train, churning the uncomfortable awareness that chained her in this moment. Instead of feeling overwhelmed by the gift he didn't ask for, a flicker of resolution sparked within him. It was in his nature to protect those who needed it, even if it was complicated or blurred by societal norms and expectations. I don't want to be your owner, Tala. I want to understand. I want you to feel empowered, he declared, determination hardening his voice. We have to have a conversation about what this means for both of us. Suddenly, Lorith interjected with a jovial tone, attempting to lighten the mood. Ah, the heart of a human. How delightful. But remember, Tala has a lot to assimilate. We must tread carefully. As Darien watched the two interact, unsure how Lorith could treat the situation as if it were a mere game, he couldn't help but feel anger swell within him. Lorith's cavalier attitude only intensified Darien's determination to forge a different path, one that honored Tala's humanity and agency. How about we start slow? Darien offered, making a conscious effort to rein in his emotions. Let's just talk. You are not a possession, and I don't want you to ever feel that way. Tala regarded him curiously, a glimmer of hope igniting behind her eyes. Talk, she asked softly, uncertainty still lingering. I haven't had the chance to speak freely in a long time. Darien nodded, feeling a swell of empathy. Then let's start there. We'll take it one step at a time, and I promise to listen. As Lorith moved to the side, giving them both space, Darien felt the air shift. Inside him, the fears melted away, replaced by a determination to turn this unexpected relationship into something momentous. Whatever the challenges ahead, he wanted to honor Tala's dignity and learn about her life. Minutes turned into hours as they shared stories. Tala spoke of her world, its customs, the beauty and pain of her past life, while Darien revealed the trivia of Earth and his adventures at the Space Federation. They found common ground in their shared experiences: loss, hope, resilience. In the midst of their conversation, something beautiful began to form, a bridge across the chasm of their differences. Although the road ahead promised difficulties, for the first time, Tala's smile seemed genuine, a glimmer of newfound trust illuminating her face. Days turned into a week, and Darien found his routine entwined with Tala's presence. As they explored the confines of his small apartment, an extension of his own world, he began introducing her to Earth's customs, the otherwise mundane aspects of human life that now felt vibrant in her presence. Today, we will make breakfast, he said cheerfully one morning as he rummaged through the kitchen cabinets. He turned to find Tala watching him with a curious expression, her head tilted to one side. What is breakfast? She asked cautiously, her fingers brushing over an assortment of utensils he had arranged on the counter. Darien chuckled, the lightheartedness of the moment overcoming him. It's the meal we eat to start our day. Here, try this. He handed her a ripe fruit, a bowl-shaped apple that gleamed red under the kitchen light. Tala studied the fruit before raising it to her lips, hesitantly taking a bite. Her eyes widened as the flavor burst forth, sweet and tangy. It is delicious, she exclaimed, her face lighting up as she finished the piece. Right, that's just the beginning. Next, we can have eggs and toast. he continued enthusiastically, glad to see her responding. The simplicity of sharing a meal took on a newfound significance, and for the first time, Darien felt a sense of warmth envelop them. As they prepared the meal together, they exchanged stories of their respective cultures. Tala spoke passionately about the music of Zinther, her people's harmony with nature, and their connection to the stars. Through her words, Darien caught a glimpse of a world teeming with vibrant colors and sounds he had never known. In my culture, Tala explained, music is a form of communication. It tells our histories, our emotions. It connects the heart to the universe. Her eyes shone with enthusiasm. Would you like to hear a song of my people? Definitely, Darien replied, intrigued. As Tala began to hum a haunting melody, rhythmic and ethereal, he felt a profound sense of connection deepen between them. There was something almost palpable in the air as the notes flowed around them, wrapping them in an embrace of shared emotion. Darien's heart swelled, the melody weaving a tapestry of understanding and kinship between their different worlds. I wish I could visit, he said, eyes glowing with excitement. To see your home, feel the music. Would it be like a dream? Tala paused, her expression shifting slightly. My home is both beautiful and complicated. Freedom is a concept I crave, she admitted quietly, a shadow crossing her face. Darien stepped closer, the weight of her words resonating deeply. Tala, you've already shown strength by sharing your past with me. We'll find a way together. That evening, as they settled into a routine, Darien was surprised at how much he genuinely enjoyed Tala's company. It was not just the curiosity he felt towards her alien culture. It was the laughter they shared, simple jokes, funny stories about Earth and Zinther. The barriers that once separated them began to dissolve, replaced by trust and camaraderie. One evening, while stargazing from the rooftop, Tala pointed at the constellation patterns. Those stars tell stories, she said, her voice low and tinged with awe. Do you see the ones that shimmer? They speak of love and loss. Darien followed her gaze, tracing the imaginary lines between the stars. It's beautiful. Like our lives, I guess. Full of stories waiting to be told. I never thought I would find this. Tala let out a breath she seemed to have held for too long. A kindred spirit in someone from another world. Before Darien could respond, she reached for his hand, her fingers brushing against his. The warmth of her skin sent a shiver through him. He turned to meet her eyes, and in that moment, something shifted. An unspoken connection ignited, creating a ripple of vulnerability that thrummed between them. Emboldened, Darien squeezed her hand gently. Tala, I'm grateful that you're here with me. We can face anything together. Their gazes locked, a fragile understanding passing between them. For Tala, it was more than just clicking up the pieces of her life. It was a realization that perhaps not all humans were bound by the tragic histories of ownership and possession. And for Darien, that connection was profound, a testament to the potential for love and alliance that transcended their differences. In the weeks that followed, Darien and Tala flourished in their partnership. They laughed, learned, cried, and bonded, not without challenges, but with an unwavering determination to pursue understanding and mutual respect. They spent afternoons at parks, Darien showing her how to navigate human customs, while she introduced him to Zinthorian philosophies that challenged his understanding of freedom and community. With each shared experience, Tala's confidence grew. The quiet strength within her began to shine. Each day brought them closer, transforming their relationship from mere acquaintances into trusted friends, a foundation upon which something beautiful was beginning to blossom. One sunny afternoon, the atmosphere inside Darien's apartment buzzed with an unusual energy. Tala was preparing lunch, while Darien sat at the kitchen table, brainstorming ideas for a surprise that had been tugging at his heart. Over the past few weeks, he had become acutely aware of Tala's need for autonomy, her struggle between embracing her newfound reality and grappling with the remnants of her past life. It dawned on him that while she had slowly begun to adapt to his world, there was one thing he could offer her that would symbolize both his respect for her and his commitment to her empowerment clothing. To many, this might seem trivial, but to Tala, it could represent freedom and choice. Tala, he called, a spark of excitement illuminating his expression. How would you feel about having some clothes of your own? She looked up from her work, a confused frown creasing her brow. Clothes? But I have this, she said, glancing down at her simple attire, a light fabric adorned with patterns that reflected her cultural heritage. I mean something more, something that's yours to choose, Darien explained, a hint of urgency in his voice. I know it may not seem like a big deal, but it's a step towards expressing who you are and embracing your freedom. Tala blinked, caught off guard by the sincerity of his suggestion. You would allow me to choose? Absolutely, he assured her, standing up and moving closer. I want you to feel comfortable, not like a possession. This is about you taking charge of your life. After a moment of silence, Tala's eyes brightened with curiosity. Then let us go, she said, her tone suddenly vibrant. I wish to see what humans wear. In a flurry of excitement, they made their way to a nearby clothing market, a vibrant area filled with eclectic shops, each boasting outfits reflecting styles from across Earth's diverse cultures. As they entered, Tala's eyes widened in amazement at the sheer variety on display, but there was a hint of insecurity as she observed the colorful fabrics and intricate designs. Choose what speaks to you, Darien encouraged, watching her closely. This is your chance. Tala hesitated, feeling the gentle pressure of the bustling market around her. How was she supposed to navigate this new world? Finally, she took a deep breath, letting the thrill of the experience wash over her. She approached the racks, running her fingers along the vibrant fabrics, absorbing their textures and colors like a child discovering the wonders of a new playground. After several minutes of exploration, Tala found herself drawn to a flowing sundress adorned with delicate floral patterns, reminiscent of the gardens she described from her planet. The vibrant colors mirrored the warmth of her spirit, and she reached out, touching the fabric reverently. This one, she declared, turning to face Darien, her eyes sparkling with excitement. It feels like me. Darien grinned, feeling an overwhelming sense of pride. It's beautiful. Let's get it. As Tala tried on the dress in a fitting room, Darien couldn't help but feel a rush of anticipation. When she stepped out, her hesitant smile melted his heart. The dress flowed elegantly around her, accentuating her features and allowing her iridescent hair to cascade freely. I feel different, she said softly, spinning around to catch the light. It's as if I am embracing a part of myself I forgot. Exactly, Darien replied, his voice carrying warmth. You look amazing. This is your moment to shine. The sun filtered through the large windows of the store, casting a warm glow around her, and in that moment, Darien realized how crucial this was for both of them. He was no longer just a human taking charge of an alien's life. He was a friend supporting her growth, her assertion of identity in a new world. As they walked through the market, clothes in hand, Darien felt an unshakable bond grow between them. Each step was filled with laughter, and Tala's confidence began to emerge, a caterpillar transforming into a butterfly, spreading her wings under the sun. It was during their walk home that the conversation shifted. Do humans always wear different clothing based on seasons and moods? Tala inquired, adjusting the straps of her new dress. Pretty much. It's one of the ways we express ourselves, Darien explained thoughtfully. Your dress is already an expression of your journey. What do you feel right now? She paused, her eyes glazing over as she pondered. I feel free. At the moment, her honesty struck a chord in Darien's heart, awakening a deeper sense of connection. He realized that granting her clothing was more than a simple gift. It was an acknowledgement of Tala's journey toward reclaiming her identity, her freedom, and her autonomy. I'm proud of you, Tala, he said softly, catching her gaze. You've chosen not just to dress, but also to step forward and own who you are. Tala's cheeks flushed with appreciation. Thank you for encouraging me, Darien. This means more than you know. As they reached their apartment, Darien helped Tala hang the dress beside her growing collection of Earth items. The transformation was happening in front of his eyes, and it filled him with hope, a feeling that perhaps love could blossom even in the unlikeliest of circumstances. For Tala and Darien, the landscape of their relationship was metamorphosing, slowly yet surely, into something profound. In this gift of clothing, They found seeds of partnership, trust, and love, setting the stage for the journey that lay ahead. As summer blossomed across the city, the nights grew warmer, and Darien and Tala found themselves spending more time together outside of the apartment. They visited parks filled with laughter and life, attended local festivals celebrating art and culture, and explored bustling markets that bridged the gap between their distinct worlds. Each adventure further intertwined their lives, allowing their bond to flourish. Yet, amidst the laughter and companionship, a quiet tension simmered beneath the surface. Darien felt the growing attraction towards Tala, the way her eyes danced when she smiled, the gentle grace with which she moved, and the warmth that enveloped him whenever she was near. And Tala, too, was beginning to understand the depth of her feelings for him. She felt a strange longing, like a melody that hummed just beneath her skin, beckoning her to explore the unknown. One balmy evening, they found themselves sitting on a grassy hill overlooking the city skyline, the setting sun painting the horizon with hues of crimson and gold. It was a perfect moment, one that seemed to suspend time itself, and Darien sensed that something significant lingered in the air. "Do you feel that?" he asked, glancing sideways at Tala, who was lost in thought. Her gaze fixed on the horizon, her expression shifted as she met his eyes, a softness returning to her features. "Yes, it is as if the world is whispering secrets to us." Darien smiled, his heart racing. Maybe it is, or maybe it's just us. Tala's breath caught in her throat at his words. He reached out, tucking a loose strand of her hair behind her ear, his fingers lingering against her skin. The world around them faded, and for a heartbeat, it felt as if they were the only ones that existed. As he watched her, he couldn't help but be entranced by the beauty of her presence, the way the sunlight danced in her hair, illuminating her features. The longing inside him bubbled to the surface, urging him to draw closer. Slowly, Darien leaned in, his heart pounding in his chest. "Tala," before he could finish, she closed the distance, her lips finding his in a gentle, tentative kiss. It was soft at first, a tentative exploration as they discovered the sensation of being so close. The world around them melted away, a beautiful crescendo harmonizing with their hearts. Two souls intertwined against the backdrop of an expansive universe. As the kiss deepened, Darien wrapped his arms around her waist, pulling her closer until there was no space left between them. Tala responded, her hands finding their way to his hair, fingers tangling in the tousled strands. The warmth radiating from their bodies felt electric, surging through them and igniting a passion that had been building since their first day together. When they finally pulled apart, breathless, Darien looked into her eyes, those deep sapphires that now shimmered with a newfound intensity. "I didn't know if you felt the same way," he confessed, still caught in the magic of their connection. Tala chuckled softly, her cheeks flushed with warmth. "I have felt it for some time, but I did not know how to express it. You have shown me what it means to live freely, Darien." With her words, a flood of emotion surged within him, hope, love, and a gentle promise of the future. "I want to explore this with you," he said sincerely, "but I also want to make sure you are comfortable with whatever we share." Tala's heart swelled at his consideration. "I trust you, Darien. I want to experience everything with you, the joy, the vulnerability, and even the challenges." The conversation lingered in the air, creating a space for raw honesty that gave life to their relationship. They exchanged stories, dreams, and desires, each revelation weaving a deeper thread of intimacy between them. As the stars began to twinkle above, casting a celestial glow over their haven, Darien brushed his fingers against Tala's arm, marveling at the warmth of her skin. "Would it be okay if I held you tonight? Just to feel close?" he asked softly, respecting her boundaries. "Of course," she breathed, her voice barely above a whisper. Darien wrapped his arms around her, pulling her against him, and Tala nestled her head against his chest, listening to the rhythmic beat of his heart. They sat entwined, two halves of a whole, as the world outside became a distant echo. In that moment, with the stars bearing witness to their connection, they shared whispers, laughter, and pangs of joy that infused their hearts. They began to explore the realm of physical intimacy, gentle caresses that sent ripples of warmth through their bodies, each touch igniting a spark of discovery. And as days turned into nights, Darien and Tala wove their unique narrative with gentle touches, soft kisses, and the sharing of their bodies, a reflection of their rapidly deepening bond that extended beyond physical intimacy. Each encounter was filled with tenderness and trust, both cherishing every moment they had together. Through it all, they honored each other's journey, intertwining their pasts with their present as they forged ahead into an uncertain future. Darien found solace in Tala's smile, and Tala discovered strength in Darien's embrace, two reflections dancing off one another, slowly rewriting the narrative of what it meant to be free. The weeks following their confession to one another were a whirlwind of laughter and exploration. Darien and Tala had become inseparable, navigating the complexities of their relationship with a sense of wonder. However, as the summer sun began to dip below the horizon, casting a shadow of uncertainty across their lives, an unexpected figure reemerged. Darien had just finished preparing dinner when he heard a familiar voice echoing from the entrance. "Darien, I've been looking for you." He turned to see Lorith striding into the apartment, his presence like a jolt of energy. The excitement in Darien's chest quickly morphed into tension, realizing that Lorith's return could disrupt the delicate balance he had worked so hard to establish with Tala. "Lorith," he greeted, suppressing his mixed feelings. "What brings you back?" Lorith's eyes swept the room, landing on Tala, who stood quietly in the corner, a sense of apprehension flickering across her features. "I see you've taken my gift, then," he said, a sly grin forming on his lips. "And it looks like you've made quite the impression." Tala bristled at his implication, but before she could respond, Darien interjected, stepping protectively in front of her. "Tala is more than just a gift, Lorith," he said firmly. "She's a person with her own desires and freedom." Lorith chuckled, unfazed. "Ah, what is love without a little challenge? But you seem to forget, my friend. Tala is bound by the customs of my culture, and therefore, she belongs to you only if you accept the laws that come with it." "What do you mean?" Darien asked, agitation brewing beneath his surface. "I've come to reclaim what was once given freely. Tala is not yours to keep. You must return her to me. After all, I was the one who gifted her." Lorith leaned against the table, an air of superiority radiating from him. Tala's breath quickened, and Darien could feel her tension as she stepped closer. I belong to no one," she murmured, her voice shaking slightly. "This life is my choice now." "Choice?" Lorith raised an eyebrow, his tone mocking. "You're merely playing house, while the reality of ownership looms above you, ready to reclaim that which belongs to me." Lorith's words ignited a fire in Darien's chest, a swell of anger rising. "You're wrong, Lorith. Tala is not property. She is a partner, someone I care for deeply. She has every right to choose her own path." "Is that so? Then I challenge you both," Lorith replied, a smirk etched on his face. "I'm prepared to take this matter further, to ensure that customs are respected. If you are genuinely invested in Tala's future, prove it. Return her to me, or risk being perceived as a thief of culture." Darien's heart raced. "You can't do this." "Oh, but I can." Lorith's voice was low and deliberate. "You may care for her now, but how long until she longs for the familiarity of her own world? You risk losing everything, Darien." Tala's eyes flickered with uncertainty, and Darien sensed the tremors of fear ripple through her. "I won't be a pawn in this game," she proclaimed, her strength breaking through. "I am not returning to a life that restricted my freedom. Love is not possession." "That's where you're wrong," Lorith argued, his wayward tone shifting. "In our culture, we are tied by the bonds of loyalty and ownership. Do you truly believe that you can challenge the very foundation of our existence?" "I believe that our connection defies that very foundation." Darien shot back, his resolve hardening. "Tala is not a token or a prize. She's a person who deserves respect and autonomy." Tension crackled in the air, and for a moment, silence hung between them like a fragile thread. Darien could feel Tala's presence vibrating with anxious energy, and he drew strength from her. In that moment of uncertainty, He realized they were facing not just a conflict of cultures, but a defining moment of their relationship. Courage ignited within him, and Darien turned to Tala, his gaze piercing her with conviction. I stand by you, no matter the cost. We will confront this together, and we will define our lives on our own terms. Tala looked up at him, gratitude radiating from her. I trust you. I choose you. Then let them judge us, Darien declared, the words flowing with certainty. Let Lorith take his so-called claims to whoever will listen. This bond we share cannot be broken by customs or laws. Lorith's expression darkened, and frustration boiled beneath the surface. You will regret this, he warned, his tone low and menacing. You'll see that your love cannot conquer a culture that has existed for millennia. As Lorith stormed out, Darien felt a weight lift off his shoulders, the looming dread quaking with each of Lorith's threats. He turned to Tala, a swell of emotion flooding him. We'll rise against this, he said, wrapping his arms around her. No one can dictate our love. It belongs to us alone. In the silence of their apartment, the reality of their choice settled between them, a commitment of heart and soul against societal norms and expectations. They had chosen one another, standing resolute in the face of adversity, ready to face whatever challenges lay ahead. Tala breathed in deeply, relishing the warmth of Darien's embrace, a feeling of comfort enveloping her. We will navigate this together, she whispered, and in that moment, the bond between them solidified, a promise of love and loyalty that shone brighter than any cultural divide. In the week that followed Lorith's explosive confrontation, Darien and Tala found themselves living in the aftermath of chaos, but also in the warmth of their shared convictions. With every challenge that arose, their bond continuously fortified, the tension from earlier conversations evolving into an unbreakable unity. Though Lorith had vanished from their lives, the shadow of his words still lingered, whispering doubts and fears within the confines of Darien's heart. He had always believed in the strength of love, yet the currents of uncertainty from a foreign culture clung to his thoughts. Despite this, he was resolute. His commitment to Tala remained unwavering. You've been thoughtful lately, Tala observed one evening as they sat on the balcony, the city lights twinkling like stars against the night sky. There was a gentle breeze, and she could feel the warmth of Darien's presence beside her. What troubles you? Just thinking about what Lorith said, he admitted, running a hand through his hair. He's right about the challenge we face. It's daunting navigating such vastly different cultures. I wanted to protect you, not put you in danger. But you are not the danger, Darien. His customs and beliefs are outdated compared to what we have built together. Tala's voice was steady, filled with a conviction that bolstered his resolve. Darien turned to her, heart swelling with admiration. You're right. I want to focus on us and our future, no matter the obstacles that might arise. Your freedom means everything to me, Tala. A soft smile spread across her face. And in granting me freedom, you have bestowed the greatest gift. I feel alive in ways I had forgotten. Now energized by their deeper connection, Darien initiated plans for the future that honored both of their cultures, a blend of human and Xanthorian that celebrated their individual identities. We can create a new culture together, he suggested, excitement lacing his voice. We'll embrace both worlds while remaining true to ourselves. You can teach me your music, and perhaps I can show you Earth's traditions. Tala beamed at the idea, her eyes sparkling with enthusiasm. I would love that. Your world has so much to offer, and I want to learn everything I can about it. We will build a bridge between our cultures, a beautiful tapestry of our own making. Together, they began drafting a new understanding, one filled with dynamic experiences that combined their rich histories. They visited art galleries that showcased intergalactic influences and collaborated on musical compositions that intertwined Xanthorian melodies with earthly harmonies. As the seasons changed, their love blossomed like the trees sprouting vibrant colors, a testament to their resilience. Darien supported Tala as she navigated her independence and grew into a fearless advocate for herself, while Tala encouraged him to embrace vulnerability and openness in exploring this partnership. And just when Darien thought life had reached a sense of balance, an exciting opportunity arose. The Space Federation announced an intergalactic conference to discuss cultural exchange, a chance for Darien and Tala to represent their unique union. This could be our moment, Darien exclaimed, an adrenaline rush surging through him as he shared the news with Tala. We could showcase our music, our stories, and challenge perceptions of what love can mean across cultures. Tala's eyes widened with excitement. We must. Imagine the connections we could foster. We can inspire others to break free of limitations defined by their origins. In preparation for the conference, they worked tirelessly, merging their talents and creativity in a way that respected both cultures. They collaborated on music, crafted a dance that blended human and Xanthorian styles, and wrote speeches that highlighted autonomy, love, and the beauty of shared experiences. As they stood on the stage, heartbeats echoing in their chests, Darien took a moment to glance at Tala. She radiated confidence and grace, her spirit shining brightly even amidst a vast audience. He felt a deep sense of pride swell within him. Together, they had transformed challenges into opportunities, proving that love could transcend boundaries. With a nod to Tala, Darien stepped forward to deliver their words, sharing their journey in front of an eager audience. Today, we stand together to show that love knows no bounds and transcends cultural divides, he declared. In a world that often tries to define us, we must embrace our differences while forging connections that honor our shared humanity. The applause that erupted felt like a resounding affirmation of everything they had fought for. In that moment, Darien and Tala were no longer just representatives. They were champions of a new understanding, paving the way for future bonds built on love and respect. Afterward, as they walked hand in hand into the night, the weight of the world felt lighter. The stars above twinkled with new possibilities, reflecting the hope that glimmered within their hearts. Whatever comes next, Tala said, her voice filled with certainty, we will face it together. We will always find a way. I promise, Darien replied, squeezing her hand gently. We are free to explore whatever the universe has to offer, and I couldn't ask for anyone better to share it with. As they continued down the path, they knew the journey ahead was filled with uncertainties, but with their hearts intertwined and a shared dream, they were ready for whatever the future would bring. Together, they would create their own destiny, a beautiful tapestry woven from love, resilience, and the unyielding spirit of two souls intertwined.